see it. We got over 1,200 members. So the great thing about it is that, well, let me go ahead and introduce myself and we'll get started. Basically, I'm usually the one who's kind of in the back, kind of getting the speakers and the presenters on board. But Shane Sevo, who's part of Commercial Progression, he usually MCs the event. However, he couldn't be here tonight. So I got fortunate to be here to kind of run the event tonight. Well, basically what DNewTech is, I'm pretty sure everyone heard of Ann Arbor NewTech. I mean, who hasn't heard about Ann Arbor? Desai and A2D actually started out of Ann Arbor, and they got, I think they got over 5,000 members or something near that. It's crazy, but they've been around for quite a while. And so when I got the opportunity to pitch there with my first startup company, I told Doug we need something like this in Detroit. So basically, it's kind of a spin-off of A2. The only thing that's different is that we want to bring some of the presenters at our different venues in Detroit. And the reason why is because there's a lot of things going on here in the city. And we really want people to see that there's a lot of startup, the ecosystem here, the startup community is growing. So we go different locations. Like next month, we're going to be at Bamboo Detroit. The following month after that, we're off. But then the following month, we're going to be TechStar Detroit. And then after that, we're going to be in Vision IT, which is also in Detroit. These are all locations that not only entrepreneurs and startup companies can actually work at, but they also can actually start the business out of. That's what we want to showcase. That's how we're kind of different. We're not at one place at all, and depending on the location, it can be big or small. The other thing we are a little bit different is that we normally bring a guest speaker. And the reason why we do that is because we want to allow these entrepreneurs. One of the biggest things for me as an entrepreneur, with my first startup 10 years ago, I had an electronic record software company, and it's so hard to get in front of investors. And one of the biggest things is that we're such a small community, and there shouldn't be an issue for us to be in front of investors. So that's what DNewTech does, is that we try to bring the entrepreneurs in the startup community an opportunity to either listen or to be pitching to a group of other entrepreneurs, but also to someone who's actually at the caliber who could invest or could be giving you some valuable feedback. In addition to that, one of the things that why DNewTech started was that we all believe that we have the best or the most beautiful baby in the world, right? But when we actually pitch the idea or present the idea, it's a different story. And that's the whole idea with A2NewTech as well as DNewTech. So with that, normally the way it works is that we have a guest speaker. Today we have Kelly. She's from, we'll let Kelly introduce herself, but she's from, she's starting up a new fund with her organization. And then on top of that, we'll have 5 presenters. Usually we have 4, but today we kind of had quite a bit, 5 presenters. And then they each get 5 minutes to pitch, no more. We actually stop here at 5 minutes. And then after that, then there's 5 minutes of Q&A from the audience. They get a pitch. And that goes on for exactly 5 minutes too. We kind of do this so that way, I mean, in front of an investor, one of the things that you got 5 minutes to pitch, get in, get out. There's no more, or you want to use every second you have. So that's why we want to put you in that type of scenario. We are currently sponsored by Tech 248. Tech 248 is an initiative from Oakland County. Al Brooks Patterson is basically a meetup for CEOs in the Oakland County. The whole purpose of Tech 248 was that we have over 500 apparently CEOs for tech companies here in Oakland County. However, only about a fifth of them really talk to each other. And the problem with that is that they believe that because no one communicates. So Tech 248 was kind of born from just recently, as of January of this year, so that way a lot of the CEOs can actually kind of learn about each other, link each other with resources, and kind of get out there in the community and kind of share with the community what those tech companies are like. There are 8 regions in Oakland County, and one of them, they all have a champion, a CEO champion. And they asked me to be the CEO champion for the southeast area, which is Novi, Wixom, Southline, and Milford. So each month we meet with other CEOs, so that way we can kind of share our knowledge and share our resources with the small businesses in the community. So check them out, Tech 248. They go on every single month. It's happening every single month in each of the 8 districts in the Oakland County. And we want to thank you, Tech 248, for sponsoring us. And then besides that, we've been grateful to have Quick Loan sponsor us. Tech Talent sponsors big time in the past. And so, with them, I mean, it helped us keep this going because this is free, everything's free. So hopefully I want to say thank you to those sponsors. So with that, so Kelly LaPierre?
LaPierre.
LaPierre. Okay, so Kelly is the managing director at Desai Accelerator out in U of M in Ann Arbor. And it's apparently part of the Zell Institute.
Yeah,
correct?
I can describe it more too.
Okay, so we'll let her describe more because I'm doing such a crappy job. So with that,
That's what I said.
all right.
Do you guys mind if I sit? I know I have to stand up.
You should stand up.
Okay. Just thought it'd be a little more casual. So I thought, since it's a little bit of a smaller group, I'd do a quick little background about myself and who I am, so just so you can understand how I got to be in the role I am, and then I'll explain more about the Accelerator. And Chuck, I think this is what I hear. You guys might want to hear like general advice from my experience working with entrepreneurs. So I was born and raised in Detroit. I did my undergrad at the University of Michigan. Then I went off and worked in the corporate world for 4 years as a buyer at Target out in Minneapolis. So if you want to talk anything retail related, I could talk for days about it, but ultimately found that I hated the corporate world. I felt way too far disconnected from my decisions. Just really wasn't passionate about retail. I didn't wake up being like, oh my gosh, I hope one more person bought, that bottle of mascara that I was, picked out. Just, it didn't get me excited. So, knew I wanted to go back to business school. And in the process of applying to business school, I stumbled into entrepreneurship. Is how I, admit is what happened. So when you're applying to business school, it's a marketing exercise. It's like, how do you really make yourself stand out? So I thought to myself, I was like, Detroit, probably not many people in these top business schools could say that they're from Detroit and very passionate about Detroit and everything that's happening there. So I crafted this beautiful story about what I was going to do. Is I was going to, after business school, come back to Detroit and help people start businesses to revive the economy. Turns out it worked. Got into Harvard Business School. I have my MBA from Harvard Business School. But in the process of going to school, really thought about it. I was like, maybe this is actually interesting. And I felt like as I talked to people kind of outside of Detroit, I realized how much of a misconception there was about what was really happening. And it energized me. I would tell people I was from Detroit, and I felt like, they looked at me like, ooh, I'm so sorry, And I was like, no, it's a good thing, So I just got really energized into kind of looking into everything that was happening in Detroit around entrepreneurship. So in between my first and second year of business school, I interned at Wisdom. You guys familiar with Wisdom? And I just fell in love with everything that was happening in Detroit and knew I wanted to move back and do something within the startup world. So in my last semester of business school, really dove into startups, started my own company while I was there, helped one of my friends start their company. After I graduated, I ended up working for Techstars, which is a startup accelerator out in Boston, helping people grow companies there. And I just fell in love with this startup accelerator model as far as helping people start their business and be part of that process really early on. It's so energizing. But one of my biggest struggles with existing accelerators was when they weren't run by people who have actually started a business. I think it's often very hard to advise people on how to start a business if you haven't actually done it yourself. So after I graduated business school, I knew I was coming back to Detroit and wanted to do something here. And so while I didn't have my own idea for a business, figured I would do the next best thing and join a really early stage startup company. So I was one of the first hires at Grand Circus. You guys heard of Grand Circus? Sweet, cool. Part of my job there was marketing, so that's exciting. So joined them from the start. I was there when we were kind of huddled together in DVP's office. Remember when we made our first sale, moved into our space, kind of pivoted our strategy, hired our first employee. So it was a really, really incredible experience in order to see kind of how a company goes from being an idea to actually a business. And so it was such an incredible opportunity, but I always kind of was fascinated with this investment model and the mentoring and coaching that happens in an accelerator program. So that is what brought me to my current role today. So sorry to cut you off from your introduction, but it is complicated, so I figured it'd be easier if I explained it myself. So are you guys all familiar kind of with accelerators, Wisdom, Techstars? Okay, so I don't need to totally explain the model. So I work for the University of Michigan, and we are launching a brand new startup accelerator called the Desai Accelerator, and it's open to anyone. So let me say it again, it's open to anyone. You do not have to have any sort of University of Michigan affiliation to apply. So the university got some gifts from donors, And we saw this need in the marketplace to create a startup accelerator where we'd be investing small seed stage investments in startup companies. And what makes this accelerator different, because I'm sure you guys are all thinking, oh great, one more accelerator program, there are so many out there, is capitalizing on the network of the University of Michigan. So it's one of the largest living alumni bases in the world, with over 500,000 alums. The faculty and students and research there is phenomenal. And this is kind of one of my pieces of advice in building a company, is that it takes more than just the founding team in order to really build a successful business. So for us to be able to capitalize on the alumni that are out there and have, created and sold or worked for big companies, we can really help people build companies here in Michigan and in Ann Arbor. And so that's what we're doing. So we are launching our first program in June, which is really exciting. So we'll be making $30,000 investments in the form of a SAFE, which is a simple agreement for equity. So that means when you raise that big round of money, whatever it is, it'll convert into equity at that time. So it doesn't have any of the debt things. We're not valuating your company up front. It's really entrepreneurial friendly. I made that a point to make sure that that's kind of how our deals were going to be structured. And you'll go through a 13-week program that's really focused on helping introduce you to mentors in the community, Michigan alumni, helping you focus on building your business, and then getting in front of the right people at the right time in order to raise investment. So we'll help you kind of with the formal demo day, as well as these investor one-on-one meetings in order for you to kind of build those relationships that you need to take your business to the next level. Let's see what else. I say this so many times in the day, I can't even remember what I said or didn't say. So I think I'll let you guys ask questions later, because I'm sure there's probably details that you're interested in about that. But as far as kind of like what my advice would be to you guys in building your company, I would say two things. First, talk to as many people as you can as possible. And I say that because I believe kind of in the mentorship-based approach in helping make connections and bringing ideas, but it's also just like bouncing ideas off of each other and just having kind of that support system, as well as being like, oh, you had problems with that? Me too, and just being able to have that. And you never know when one of those relationships that you build, right now could help your company 2 years from now. So not only, talk to everyone, make sure you maintain those relationships with people. So add them potentially to a list, an email list where you send out a regular update to people or mentors that you've worked with about what's going on with your company. Because that might trigger something of like, ooh, I just talked to someone else and they might be able to help you. And secondly, even though obviously I have my own funding source of an accelerator program, the other piece of advice I give people is figure out what funding source is right for you. I love the accelerator model. I think there's a lot of value that we bring beyond just kind of the financials when it comes to the mentoring and the space and all of the support behind that. But there are a lot of funding sources out there. There's venture capital, there's grants, there's loans. I mean, figure out what's right for you. Don't just assume because everyone's out there raising VC and it's the sexy thing to do that's what's right for your business. Figure out kind of what is a good fit for you that's really going to add value to your company to help you get to where you want to be. So I'm kind of just winging this. So hopefully that helped address or was appropriate for the setting. Do you guys have questions about the accelerator or my experience or anything else?
Well, what type of core business are you looking to fund?
Yeah.
Is it just high tech? And a lot of the companies really don't want to deal with only high-tech companies. They're going to deal with service companies and...
So we're looking for technology-based companies.
Okay,
Now, yes, that is very, very vague. I want to see some sort of technology in it, especially a technology that will scale. That's a virtue of a lot of kind of these models, is we want to see kind of the potential and long-term growth. Plus, it's a lot of our areas of expertise. My funding comes from both the business school and the College of Engineering, so I think there's a lot of support from those schools that we can help. So I would consider service companies. Right now I'm trying to keep a very broad approach, so I'm looking at anyone to apply, not any specific industry. Like I said, technology in some sort is pretty vague, so I would interpret that as how you'd like.
I just also want to add that first part of advice you gave. I mean, that is hit to the core, because one of the biggest things as being a serial entrepreneur, I mean, we work out of back then was at Panera, and there's McDonald's, and then there's incubators and accelerate places that you can actually go out to. But the biggest thing is that you always feel like you have, when you have run into issues, you always feel like you're the only one who has this issue. well, with most startup companies and most entrepreneurs, we all have that. Nobody just talk to each other. And that's the biggest, I think that's the biggest advice that anyone can give is you go out there and network because you don't know who the type of people who's listening will have the same issues you have. So, in regards to that, how do they find out about the application? How do they apply?
Yeah, that's a great question. So our website is still in the process of going live. So if you Google it, you're not going to find any information. So you guys got the sneak peek here. But if you go to AngelList, our application is live there, which is a common platform for many startup companies to acquire funding. So I think it's a valuable exercise for most startup companies to create a profile there because you might end up getting additional funding sources that way as well. Or you can also look at the platform F6S, which is another startup kind of application system.
In regards to what percentage, do you have an idea of usually the equity percentage when it converts?
So it'll depend on the amount raised. So if a raise, since we're giving $30,000, depending on how much you raise, it'll convert at that time for the valuation then. So it could range from anywhere. We also have some other funds put aside so that if you do have, one lead investor who's looking for more support, we could be that follow-on support to help you get to kind of that key amount with that valuation in mind. Cool. I answered all the questions. That was great. Sweet.
Yeah. Question? One, twice?
Oh, there's someone here.
So this might be a stupid question, because I'm actually
stupid question.
probably a little less familiar with all the startup than the rest of the group here. But you had mentioned like service industry and stuff like that. Is that related to technology? Is that what you guys are trying to fund as technology or help technology?
So we're looking for technology-based companies. So that could be something from an app to a SaaS-built business, software as a service. It could be, it could be servicing technology. I mean, it's pretty vague, but that's kind of the core of where I'm focusing, kind of building my networks around from alumni to support the companies.
Is it particular vertical? You guys have like healthcare or social or?
We're looking at everything at this point. I mean, one of the great, but also challenging pieces about the University of Michigan Alumni Network is it's vast and very broad. We have people working across various industries. So I anticipate kind of, I'm starting a company in a lot of ways here and starting this program from scratch. There are a lot of decisions I'm making that, I don't know the right answer to either, but I'm taking a stance kind of on this program. And then after our first cycle, we're going to kind of review, see what works, what didn't, get feedback, continue to iterate, practice what we preach. So we're starting off really broad. I could see us focusing on one industry, but I think that's what makes it great is that our network can support various industries through the alumni base.
Are you going to be hosted out the same as TechArt?
No, so we're building out a brand new space in downtown Ann Arbor. So it's at 5th and East Liberty. If you guys are familiar with like Afternoon Delight, Jerusalem Garden, it's going to be an awesome space there. So it's a collaborative effort between Pillar Technology. So I don't know if you guys have heard of Pillar Technology. It's a custom software design and development shop that's out of Columbus that also has an Ann Arbor office. So they're building out the space and we're leasing a sub-portion of it for the Accelerator, which will be really great for the startups to be located near these developers who are out in the field addressing the different problems that they see there and can help them kind of with those one-off challenges. Cool. I guess you guys are just so eager to get up here and pitch and get feedback. So we can leave it at that.
Thanks, Kelly.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Again, one of the biggest thing about just incubators and accelerator programs, I actually went through like the Tech Town one when they first opened, and the biggest challenge, I think we all know Tech Town. It's been around quite a while. But the biggest thing about it was that they actually were able to provide a lot of the resources where to get the funding, because it might not be the program itself giving you funding, but again connecting you with other resources out there that can give you funding depending on your industry and in your space. So again, thank you, Kelly, for sharing that with us. So we're going to get started. It's all right, Roger? Cool. All right. So if Grubbable could get up here and go ahead, connect and get started. Yep. And then, so I know that now you're Jake, right?
Yep.
And then you're
I'm Mike.
So I'm gonna let them introduce themselves again. Shane usually calls you up and kind of get the bio from you, and I just sit behind the scene. But apparently, this time I have to do the show. But this is the whole idea is to eat with purpose. They're just gonna preview us. This is not really launched from what I've heard, but this is a great app that kind of give a lot of the small business and restaurant an opportunity to connect.
Yeah. So yeah, my name is Mike. I work for Sesti Reed. That's Jake and Eric, the other founders of Grubbable.
Whenever you're ready, I'll give you 5 minutes start.
That's my fiance and I getting engaged.
Congrats.
Congrats.
Okay.
Getting married on the 11th.
Let's see.
Yeah.
That works? Okay. Cool. Yeah, so, okay. Like I said, or like Tan introduced us, we're Grubbable, and what we are, really simply, we're just a phone app that helps people get discounts at restaurants that serve local food. Okay, so real simple. Our whole purpose as we started Grubbable was we wanted to create a holistic network, something that's sustainable for the community and does good for the local economy. Just our whole goal and our aim was to do it while partnering with restaurants that do local. All right. So as we've been talking with people, a lot of times a lot of research shows that when given the opportunity, people want to eat at restaurants that are healthier, right? When they have the opportunity to, they want to eat at restaurants that do good for the local economy and that are environmentally sustainable. But what we found out over and over again was that people keep running into like the same consistent two barriers to eating at those kinds of restaurants. The first one is that it's a discovery piece. They don't know, a lot of people don't know which restaurants are committed to those sorts of values, which ones are sourcing things that are good for the local economy or for the environment, right? So there's discovery. The second piece is that a lot of people, the barrier would be the price, because at the end of the day, good ingredients just cost more, right? So we can talk about the first one. We're trying to create a company that addresses those two issues. So with the discovery piece, a lot of people, like even in the city, we're all living in the city. When you ask people, it's hard to even name like more than 5 restaurants that do local ingredients, right? But a lot of people are surprised to find out that there are a lot of restaurants in the area that source local ingredients at some level. And so there's that caveat in there. So what we're trying to do is show people that there are a lot of restaurants that are sourcing a good quality ingredients, whether it's their chicken or their produce or their beef. And all of these are actually our partners. So we partner with about 60 restaurants in the Metro Detroit area that do local. And so we're trying to help people discover which restaurants. Beyond that, we're also trying to help people discover within the restaurant what kind of ingredients are actually being sourced locally. So we know that restaurants, they're committed to local, but they can't source everything locally, right? And so if you want like a nice dinner with a steak, you might go to a restaurant with a beef badge, just to help people at a glance know what kind of ingredients are local and natural. And finally, with the discovery piece, you can't really see here, but you can click on a link per restaurant page that takes you to the farms and artisans that source the restaurant. And so you kind of get a glance into who provides the food for the restaurant. So 2 issues, discovery and price. Trying to help people discover and know about the restaurants that they're eating at, what kind of food they're sourcing, and the farms that are supporting them. And then with the price piece, I'm just going to jump over to the website. So we're trying to, what we're doing is creating a network of restaurant partners and consumer memberships. The restaurant partners don't pay any monthly fees to be part of our network, but the consumer memberships have a price point per month. Now anyone for free can go into our website and learn about these restaurants, all the cool things they're doing. But when they become a paid member, a couple of things happen. The first thing is that we donate the first full month of membership to a local nonprofit that we're partnering with that you can choose from. We have a few of them. And the second thing that happens is that you become eligible for any and all discounts that a restaurant is offering. So all the restaurants that have partnered with us, they actually have promised to give at least 10% off all of your entrees every time you go, so per check. And that's the baseline. A lot of restaurants are pretty excited to give even more for appetizers, desserts, or during certain parts of the day when they have lulls. But that's kind of the baseline. What's really exciting is that the caliber of our restaurant is really high. You know, we have everyone from Coach Insignia to Rattlesnake to Brooklyn Street, Colors, a lot of great restaurants. And finally, what kind of ties it together with the discovery and price piece is that we actually allow restaurants to communicate directly to you through our phone app. And so if there's a personalized deal that they want to offer you because you're a wine drinker, they can send it directly to your phone. Yeah. So why are we here? The last piece, the reason why we're here, we're about to launch beta, and as a Detroit company, we're really excited to be living in the city. We've all been here for a number of years, and to really allow this to be our ground zero. People are excited about it. We talked, Detroit published an article a week ago, and overnight we had over 100 people sign up for beta. We have Troy News and Free Press that are going to publish articles in a week or two. And all our nonprofit partners have been sharing it in their lane. So we're just excited about growing, having you guys be a part of that.
All right, good job. All right, so we'll give up for 5 minutes for Q&A, so you can choose who you want to go.
Yeah.
What's the consumer price model?
You're good. So it's $4 a month for consumers or $40 a year. And again, that promises every time you go into a restaurant, at least 10% off your entrees.
How fast are you growing with the number of clientele?
So we recently unrolled sort of our social media presence, and we're taking it slow and harnessing our nonprofit partners and our restaurants to kind of do a lot of free promoting for us. And so we are currently, I think, at about 160 beta users. Our goal is to launch our beta portion with about 300. Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit more about how you manage your data, both like who's inputting it? Is it the restaurants? Is it stuff that you're inputting? And then also how do you maintain that it is in fact local?
Okay, so you're talking about data in terms of the ingredient piece?
Yeah, like for how you classify the earlier part of your presentation.
Yeah. So all of our restaurant partners have actually gone through a process with us, and the onboarding process is that I had to fill out like a questionnaire. That has a lot of questions about like, is your beef free range? Is it grass fed? Is it hormone antibiotic free? And so they fill those out. At this point in our game, we're trusting, and we found that a lot of the restaurant owners are very trustworthy, and we know a lot of them personally already. But so we're trusting them at this stage. Further down the road, we'll have vetting measures and accountability in place more specifically.
So if I change my beef sourcing, I would have to refill out the form with you as a restaurant owner.
Yeah, we're asking people to update it once to twice a year.
That would go live. So you wouldn't have to fill it, you would just go online, because you have what we call a database page for the restaurant, where it's basically like Restaurant Central,
Yep.
where they can do their awards that they want to get to the customer, in addition to changing their direct connect of how they're talking to the customer, in addition to changing different aspects of their menu and the issue of what they're serving locally.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the incentive for the restaurants?
Yeah, good question. So restaurants, I mean, part of it is that we're a very invite-only network. So what's really important that we found with restaurant industries are that restaurants want to know who they're associated with, and so Rattlesnake Club doesn't want to be on the page next to Panera Bread or, like a chain or I don't know. Sorry if people love Panera Bread. But there's that piece, and then also we give them data on all the Grubbable members, so when they eat, if they bring people, how the frequency between times they visit, and from there, that's where they can actually use that data to send specific personalized rewards to people's phones. So it's kind of a marketing thing too.
With the personalized stuff, is that up to the restaurant to take the data in and kind of disseminate it themselves, or do you have a recommendation engine or something?
Yeah, so we have, they have options like a drop-down menu that they can show like customers who spent at least $25 most of the time, or customers that usually dine with people or alone. So we have different data points that they can choose to send from.
Then does it compare across restaurants? Like if someone ate something at Rattlesnake, give people information about that to another restaurant that says, hey, they drank wine here, you might want to offer them something like that.
Currently, we don't have that go-to system. It's a cool idea. Yeah.
So I was thinking, I have a friend that's wife is like gluten-free, vegan, all this stuff, and they went to Milford and heard about a restaurant that was great. but they went there and it really wasn't exactly what they were looking for. And then they got clams or something like that, and they were covered in butter, and so they couldn't eat them. And so, like with that whole, you know, market and being with, yeah, do you have like, are you considering doing the markers for gluten-free, dairy-free?
So we have badges for restaurants that have significant real entrees for, you know, vegans, vegetarians, gluten-free.
Right.
Yeah, we give badges for those as well. Yeah.
So what other test markets are you looking in? So you're going to expand Chicago, New York?
Yeah, so we want to make sure we're very faithful to Detroit first and win in Detroit and be successful. That's one of the reasons why we're trying to get a lot of validation. From there, we would love to expand to Ann Arbor. We already have, you know, prospects out there that we're looking into, and then we want to be very Michigan-based before expanding beyond that.
One more question?
Sorry, I already asked someone, but I have something
Sure.
better. Do you have a sense of how big your market is of the people who care about locally sourced food?
Yeah. So the last 5 years of surveys from the NRA, which is actually, funny enough, National Restaurant Association surveys, have shown that the number one trend for center of plate is both locally raised beef and then locally grown produce. So we know that the trend has been trending and is continuing to grow, even in the 2015 survey as well. So we're looking at early adopters who care about food. A lot of people are involved in Keep Growing, Eat Green Detroit, Eastern Market. So Detroit alone, we feel like has a strong group of people who are interested in that.
So what about web design? You said you're looking for web design. It's kind of broad now. You know, are you looking at front end, back end? What type of designers are you looking for?
We're looking for a UX professional, so people who are, you know, very a web designer in general, but then very experienced with how the user interacts with the interface and goes through the flow, how to optimize, you know, click-throughs and sales and all that stuff. So if you guys know anyone, or if you guys are that person, I'd love to talk to you. Thank you.
Thanks. Next we have Carrington of Warranty Ninja, and it's a warranty registration management application. So take it away.
All right. My name is Eddie Carrington, and I'm the co-founder of Warranty Ninja, and we simplify product registration with our platform. We have a pretty solid team. Jerry, the CEO, is over there in the corner. He has a pretty good amount of experience designing out platforms such as what we're building. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I just come up with just crazy random ideas, and hopefully they work. Most of the time they do. John, our CTO, is a person that is very solid at understanding business to business, and this will, you know, obviously help us in the future. But I'll point that out once we get to, you know, a few slides here. And then we also have Tiffany, who is our Chief Administration Officer. So everything we purchase, actually, this is wrong. That's what throws me off. And that's okay. If I lose time, that's all right. That's the wrong presentation, and I was trying to figure out what the heck is going on here. But that's okay. We're all right. We can go with it. But so once again, Eddie with Warranty Ninja, and we simplify the consumer product registration process. Everything you purchase comes with some type of post-purchase protection, some type of warranty, right? From toasters to video game systems, you know, everything has some type of protection that comes with that purchase. But in a lot of cases, we don't take advantage of these, you know, different coverage opportunities and options because we don't register our product. Hand me that slip over here, Jerry. This is what we have to do in order to register a product with a manufacturer. We have to actually fill out a postcard and physically mail this postcard in order to register this product. And most people don't do this. 1 in 10 people register their products with a manufacturer. And we're here to obviously try to change that process. So these outdated and inefficient methods of registration really aren't what it takes in order for us to, you know, get to that point of being efficient at registering. I'm all over the place here. I'm scatterbrained, so I'm just giving you a heads up there. But as far as without registering your products, these businesses are losing out on a ton of data, all right? They're not able to market efficiently due to the fact that these people that are purchasing their products, they don't know about, all right? They're selling through wholesalers and distributors, and individuals are buying their products, and they have no clue, once again, at who is buying their products, and this in turn hurts this business when it comes to marketing, when it comes to the staff that has to deal with the few people that register and send in their postcards. And what we're trying to do is change that around here. I don't know why these little cats are in here kicking and screaming and stuff, but changing the definition of warranty, service, and product registration. So this is how our system works. So basically, businesses sign up with Warranty Ninja. They create a platform or they create a profile, and they input their business, their products that are able to be warranted. Right? They input these products in our system, and they once they input those products in our system, the business starts to utilize the Warranty Ninja platform, and then the consumer is able to more efficiently register products. So I know that wasn't really a good example, but in general, imagine a product or a consumer opening up a package, and a registration slip in the shape of a ninja falls out. That's going to catch your attention, right? So once again, we're trying to increase that registration number from 1 to 10, a little bit higher than what it's currently at now. So the solution is obviously cost saving, because these businesses don't necessarily have to have as many people managing the warranty registration process, because it's all automated now. You also have integrated customer data. So you have the ability to get this information, more valuable information. You're also able to market to your consumers a little bit more efficiently. And I'm just looking at the time here. So target market, our primary focus is small to medium-sized businesses. We might not have our pitch down solid yet, but we've done a ton of consumer discovery or customer discovery, not just on the consumer side, but businesses. So we've talked to over 500 consumers. We've talked to a ton of small to medium-sized businesses, and we've had an opportunity to understand, what our market needs. So primary focus is business, secondary is consumer. All right, pretty much done. Sorry about that. So, what questions do you have?
Here's a question. Go ahead.
Who are your competitors?
Competitors, the warranty industry is really not as sexy as other industries. So, you'd think that not too many people are looking at this industry as being something to focus their efforts towards. But there is one competitor that is a direct competitor named BAWTE, B-A-W-T-E, and they just recently raised $1 million. But they didn't do a good enough job at customer discovery. So, the company actually just shut their doors this Monday, and the CEO admitted the fact that they didn't do their job vetting their customers, their B2B customers, as well as they should have. So there are other things that we're going to do better than them, but at the end of the day, there are competitors, but once again, BAWTE is being the primary competitor. They just shut their doors, and it's something that we feel that we can tackle better than they can, or they had in the past.
So how do you plan on making money? Are you charging the companies?
So as far as making money, as a consumer, you can register your product. That won't cost you anything. All right, you can download our platform and you can pretty much register anything. Directly register your product with the manufacturer. And that once again is free. Now on the business side, we would charge a subscription. So the monthly recurring revenue would come from businesses, not the consumer. And the business in turn would have an opportunity to obviously market to their consumers a little bit more efficiently, and do a number of other things, including, depending on which package they choose, allow for us to take over the certain warranty servicing, and in turn allow for them to save a little money that way on the back end. So, yes.
Okay, that might start to touch on what I was going to say. Correct me if I'm wrong. A warranty, the benefit to a consumer is if something happens, you can get a new product, right? So do you ever think that maybe companies are sending out these hard-to-use slips because they don't want the financial liability of replacing everyone's product, and they're capitalizing on the fact that 1 of 10 fill it out?
That's a great question. And our theory was, yes, we thought that, but as we started talking to companies, they just had warranty or product registration in general, they just had that very low on their important list.
And the company, so your warranty, you have a warranty regardless if you register the product. So the liability is there anyway. Right, so we're trying to help that company gain more information about who's purchasing from them. So that's the benefit for the company, one of the benefits.
And even if companies are trying to avoid increasing their costs by allowing for people to register products, they can actually make that back. Studies have shown that with more efficient post-purchase customer experiences, such as an easier method of product registration, that increases sales. And therefore, once again, your cost might increase, but you also have this network of people that you can market to. Just because somebody buys your product, that doesn't mean they're going to come back and buy from you again. So brand loyalty is very important, and this is what helps.
So that makes sense. So what's the benefit to the customer themselves to register their registering the product?
Great question. As far as the benefit, you register your product, you get more efficient consumer or customer service. If something happens to your product, it's a lot easier for you to replace it or get it repaired. You also get recall notifications, firmware updates. You also have the ability with our platform, you have the ability to manage and track all of your warranties. On top of tracking your warranties when they expire, you also have interactive manuals included in this platform that allows for you to go through this. Let's say if something happens on your product, or I'm just going to back up a little bit. Does anybody in here first and foremost register at all, or at least keep up with your warranties? Right? You got like a folder full of warranties. All right, so I mean, you got a folder full of manuals. Well, we're remedying that. So, not just being able to register and track your warranties, but having, basically a log of all of your manuals in this one app. Yes.
How are you going to make it easy for me to do that? I mean, I'm assuming I'll have a mobile app, I'll already have my profile information in there. I snap the code or the barcode, or integrate with online retailers to automatically send that information. How does it work?
So there are a few ways. One option is when we partner with businesses, they have the ability to implement a call to action card. So they can print out these cards. It has either a barcode or a specialized code that will take them to our app. And let's say you're not a person that has downloaded Warranty Ninja as of yet. It's going to ask for you to consider downloading the app, but you still could register the product without going through, without actually creating a profile. But take your phone out, you snap a picture. If you have not downloaded the app, you type in your name, a few other different things that we're going to ask you for, and that's it, right? It takes less than a minute to register. We also have the ability to integrate with, like let's say if you bought something from Amazon, if you automatically have those emails forwarded over to our Warranty Ninja platform, we can actually pull the data from certain emails from certain retailers and in turn register products in that form as well. Thanks everybody for your patience.
Hey Dave. Okay, so next we have Dave Padot. Are we okay with the tape? All right. Normally the tape runs out. We have to do a few minute break here. So Dave is with Accelerator. It's a notification messenger app. Now you got 3 minutes left.
Hello everyone. Hey, Pat, here with John Boyles, presenter of the new app, Accelerator. It's a simple, anonymous group notification app. It's very simple, but very, very useful. We have a short video here to kind of sum it up. So create a tag, share that tag with anyone you want to notify, and if they subscribe to that tag, they get instant notifications to their device. So what use is this? Like why would anyone need this? Basically the use cases are endless, but we've highlighted some that are interesting. So schools, this little guy here, he's upset because his dad didn't check the email for his science fair from the teacher, and if his dad is not used to going to the teacher website to look up things that are due every day, even though they're there. He always has his device with them. He could get instant notification. It would help this little guy here. Next, businesses could use this. Create a tag for their customers to use, and instead of asking for their email addresses, which a lot of people don't want to do, once you give your email address to business, you can't ungive it. But if they have a tag that they subscribe to, then they can still get the coupons and things like that. But if it turns out to be spam over time, they can just unsubscribe. Coaches can use it to send to their team about late-breaking changes, schedule changes, or field changes. Neighborhoods could use it to send things like thefts in the area or whatever. Meetups. There was a meetup last month, and there was an ice storm, and at the last minute, it was canceled. Maybe people weren't checking their emails or driving, and if the notification popped up, you could still see it while you're driving. So I sent a message to the meetup group if you had installed this. So you can install it now. It's a quick install. Subscribe to the tag DNT. Meetup organizer can create a tag, share this tag with anyone. Create a tag here, or subscribe to the tag. Unsubscribe to it by clicking the minus guy there. Meetup organizer can send a message, and immediately, I can do this here. A couple people had it. Yeah, at home when I'm testing this app, like my whole house is like, kids, what do you want? So the benefits are, I think they're obvious, but senders and receivers. Senders can quickly notify the group. The receivers can get them immediately on their device. The senders can broaden their audience, and the receivers are anonymous. Can subscribe. Messages don't get lost in the inbox, so the sender knows that the subscribers are going to get that message. They're going to see it right in their face. The receivers won't miss important things. It's free. It's no cost to anyone. So this slide here, like if you think about the hundreds of emails you get in like a week, probably something like this is what you really need to know. And with Tolerant, these kinds of things are perfect. They will just be right there when you need them. And that's it. Subscribe to our tags to get notified about the app.
Okay. Nice job. Question?
I think this is a really cool idea. My question would be, how do I discover tags as a user when I sign up for Tolerant?
You would be told right now as it is, this is the base version of the app. So we have a feedback form. We'll enter that into the feedback form and we'll put it on our list. But right now, just it's shared by, however, if you're on like a sports team or whatever, they will just tell you. Mm-hmm.
So you could do like popular tags, right?
Yeah, we're thinking about that. Yep.
So if I were a coach and I wanted to send it to my team, how do I know that the whole team, is there any way for me to know that the whole team is subscribed to me? Because they're anonymous, right?
Yeah. So no, it's free right now. We're thinking about maybe making like a premium service or something because we definitely know who is subscribed and it's not part of the app yet. Yeah.
This reminds me a little bit of Remind. I don't know if you have, it's actually a very popular app right now that's funny, but how do you how are you going to end up getting subscribers? Is this just through word of mouth or?
Mm-hmm. Right now it's just word of mouth. We're basically in Ann Arbor and we're talking to the university, professors, like coaches, all this, just word of mouth right now.
Is it going to be free for a while then, or
Mm-hmm.
all the time?
Yep, it's very cheap to run. It's we're a Microsoft BizSpark startup, so we get some free stuff there, and it's free for the foreseeable future.
So then how are you going to make money?
Well, our strategy right now is to get tons of users. And we think if that happens, and then it seems like if you have tons of users, there is are ways to make money.
Okay.
What are you looking for right now?
What's that?
What are you looking for? What's your ask for tonight?
Just to get feedback, see what everyone thinks.
Yeah, we're looking to download and use it, right? That'd be great. It's free to download for both iOS and Android right now, so it's in both app stores.
If I create a tag, is there any way to limit who can and can't join?
Not right now.
That's what
So you could kind of do that by making a really cryptic kind of tag. Just share it with whoever you want. Because it is like if you create like the Remind one, I subscribed to a tag and I started getting stuff from it. I just put a word in.
And we would never cancel a meetup.
If there was a one that was canceled last month, the IC Day. Not this one.
Not this one. Farmington.
Any more questions? All right. Cool. Good job. Okay, so next is Kathryn with DNewTech. Okay, so a quick note from our sponsor because we'll give us a couple minutes. He's going to switch stations back. What's going to happen after this is that we actually in I think May we're going to do it at Bamboo, Detroit, and then after that we're going to have usually kick it off for the summer, and then we kick into July, which is Techstar Mobility. They're going to kicking off in Detroit, 10 companies. They're going to be pitching, and they're all companies that's under their portfolio. So it's pretty awesome. They sponsored the whole event, so they haven't really selected a location yet. Can't wait to see the site. So, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, Kathryn.
Hi guys. I'm Katie, says Kathryn. That's Nathan, and we're from Companion. So Companion is a very simple peer-to-peer safety app that lets you keep an eye on anyone that you want when they're walking home alone late at night and they feel a little unsafe. So we feel like there's like two problems, especially on college campuses, that a lot of people face, especially me. I'm a 20-year-old college girl. I go to the University of Michigan, and when I'm walking home from the library, it's 2 a.m. I'm so studious. I'm a little nervous at night. You know, like Ann Arbor is a very, very safe place, but you still never know what's going to happen, and there's a lot of reasons that it could be unsafe. And on the public safety organization, you know, they really lack the data and all of the, you know, useful data that can really prevent crimes from happening. So right now, things that walkers like me use currently, I'm texting my friend, I'm texting my mom, texting, you know, whoever is around that can, you know, make me feel a little bit more safe. I'm calling, and I always have a pepper spray in my pocket. And, you know, these are all pretty inefficient ways, and they're also really distracting. So when I'm on these, I'm not really looking at my surroundings. And on the public safety organization side of everything, you know, this is a really, really inefficient way to, you know where people are. So they use blue lights. I don't know if you guys heard of them, but they're stationary things, you know, probably every half mile on campus that if you're ever feeling nervous, you can press them. That's extremely inefficient, and there's also no data that the police officers can get. So, you know, we created a mobile app that both allows the user to reach out to their friends or family members on their walk home, and their friends and family members can virtually see their path as they get from start to finish. So they can see every step of the way, and there's also so many triggers. So if I start running, if I get my headphones yanked out, if I go off path or I'm not there in the amount of time that Companion said I would be there, all my companions are alerted that they should probably check in on me. So it's really, really great. And on the monitoring service side of things, we're actually building out a dashboard that monitoring service such as DPS at the University of Michigan can see and really see the concentration of people who have the app. So let's say there's 10 people walking on Southview. They'll all be anonymous, of course, but DPS can see where they should place their cars, because right now they have no data where to place their cars. So, you know, we can really stop crime before they ever happen in the first place. So, right now I'll show you a little demo. So when you get to the app, you're prompted to enter in your final destination. And once you do that, your map will come up, and then you're prompted to add friends at the bottom. Once you add friends, you're pretty much done. So that's what you look like, and you can either ping your friends or call 911. We have another version coming out soon that's going to be way cooler than this. But on the other side of things, this is what your companion will see. So right when you put in your destination and you add the friend, they'll see this, which is a notification saying, hey, you know, Danny wants you to be his companion. Then Nathan will see this map. Nathan will see this map. And as he's moving along his path, there'll be a green line drawn. And this is like the whole path, but you can really see exactly where he is live time. And then if there's any triggers that they arrive safely or, you know, anything like that, they'll be notified. And, you know, something that we think is really great about our app is that you don't have to have the app to get the notification. So I can use it on any one of you right now, and none of you have the app, and you'd still be able to track my path and see if I get home safe. So this is what DPS will see. So this is the dashboard we're building out. As you can see here, there's a big concentration of people that have the app. And down here is someone that requested that they get help. So they're feeling unsafe, they want someone kind of watching their back. And as you can see, they're all anonymous. So this is really amazing data that DPS can see. And, you know, we're expanding to local neighborhoods, anywhere big cities, just really, really useful on both ends. And any questions? Yeah, wow, go me, first one done. Yeah.
What's the revenue model?
Yeah, so we actually have the University of Michigan on board with our DPS service, and they said,
Public safety, if anybody's wondering.
yeah, public, sorry.
Public
sorry.
schools.
Yeah. It's like the nicer version of police. So Michigan right off the bat said we would easily pay $40,000 for this.
Per year? Or?
Yeah, subscription. So we're selling to universities for that database and that dashboard. And I think once we have the partnership with the University of Michigan, it's going to be very easy to expand to surrounding schools and schools around the country.
Now, are you designing their monitoring software? I mean, if the scale's so big, they can have 100,000, let's say 10,000 people using this at once. That's going to be hard to monitor when you got all these dots, and especially maybe say it's after a football game.
Yeah, definitely. So the green, is just kind of like a radius of where they should put their cars. But, if there's, what they're really focusing on is, the red. So, if anyone is ever really nervous and really needs, serious help right now, then they're going to be red. And those people that, are, going to need, attention right now. But the green is kind of just okay, let's move our cars to Southview, and all of our cars are in North University. Because that's how it is right now. The cars have no idea where they should be placed. They just roam around. They have no, destination. And that's what we're trying to fix.
I think it's an awesome app. Is there any way, can you deny being a companion? If you're busy or if you're out of town and you want to say hey, I can't be a companion right now?
So in our second version, we actually, on that main screen, we have faces, of people that you requested to be their companion, and you can see green, red, if they're watching you, green, and if they're red, they're not. So that's kind of, you can't deny it, but you can just, ignore it.
So I think this is a really interesting app, especially given sort of, all the issues with safety at universities and sexual assault and all that kind of stuff. I think
we get crime alerts all the time.
Yeah. I'm just wondering, have you looked into sort of the sales cycle? Because selling to universities is very, very challenging. And sort of how you scale that. And also the other question is, how do you get students to use this?
I'll tackle those questions. From the B2B aspect, I think that the B2B sale is very tough, I agree, especially with all the red tape these organizations have, and universities don't update their technology ever. But we were able to kind of breach U of M's DPS by just emailing help at whatever, the Department of Public Safety at umich.edu, and they were really interested right off the bat. And so that was kind of awesome to us that they showed interest in this and that somebody would actually realize us and set up a meeting with us. And so our strategy going forward will be, for the first 10 schools we expand to, we'll really focus on the users, meaning we'll really try to get these students on board, setting up tables, going to orientations, just different guerrilla marketing tactics, giving out a lot of free stuff. College kids love free stuff. We've seen a lot of success in the past week, setting up a few tables, giving out pizza, bagels, just for spreading awareness, and see a really good increase in downloads. And then after ultimately we get the 10 schools and their users on board, we're able to approach their public safety organization and say, hey, we have 20-30% of your students already using this. This data is incredibly worthwhile for you guys to have. Here's our subscription fee, and we want to sign you guys up. And to ultimately make that sale, I think we're going to need to bring on board some type of unreal B2B sales guy who has been in the safety organization space and has an understanding, because I don't know if we're going to be the ones dressing up in the suit and tie and going there. But that's kind of, it was a loaded question, but I tried to tackle it.
Something that's really interesting is that we found that every university needs to have specific safety regulations, and they need that for athletics and whatever. So they're really incentivized to use this because it's just another huge precaution that has no downside. It's just completely benefits for them and their reputation. I was promoting this in the middle of the dive on tours, because it was parents and kids, and there's just no downside to it.
Yeah, no, I totally get that.
No,
and
yeah.
I think the kind of point to be careful with, because a lot of schools are going to respond pretty positively to it, but getting them from that point of excitement to actually cutting you that check.
Yeah.
Definitely something I want to work on.
Yeah.
I guess just a great presentation, great idea. Not so much a question as a comment or a thought, but around liability. So I don't know the public safety organizations at the universities and what their chain of liability is. So now you're giving them a piece of information that's actionable potentially, but I don't know how you guys.
That's what we're working out. So with this pilot program with U of M, we're really fortunate to have some of the guys at DPS and just completely on board with helping us solve these problems and helping us get these early kinks out so we can really expand and obviously build them a great product. But they're on board of helping us make the solution better, tailoring it. You know, your issue, what about the 10,000 dots? That stuff we're working out with them. So we understand we have a lot of valuable data. It's just how we're going to present it to them and then ultimately how it's going to make them make better decisions.
We have a football game, you guys have one big.
All right. Any other questions? Good job. All right, so we got one more presenter before the end, so that's Sam. With OnuOne is a 3D sales catalog app. So will that Sam take over? Are you based out of Texas?
No, we are based out of just Southfield.
Okay.
All right, so go ahead. I'm here to tell you about our new product named OnuOne. The 5 W's of OnuOne.
Video man wants you to back up and go back.
One way or the other.
Sorry. Who are we? OnuOne is the premier 3D interactive sales catalog available. Thanks to our patent pending technology, you can see your entire product inventory on a mobile device, not operating in its true form. So you're going to ask what is a 3D interactive sales catalog? So as you can see there, it's the ability on a mobile device to have your product shown in their true form. Zooming in, rotating, animating, exploding to show their actual operation. Even products in pre-production. So if you're in the approval process or in the design process, you don't have your product ready to go, load it onto our platform, go out and show your potential customers, and get that important feedback before you actually go into production. When can you start using OnuOne? The answer is pretty much immediately. Go to our website, sign up for one of our low-cost subscription models, and start uploading your content. So upload your 3D models in whichever format you choose. Upload your existing marketing assets, so videos, photos, PDFs, links to your website. Put it all together in one comprehensive package, one presentation. You can control your branding, control your color scheme, something that speaks to your brand. And it's pretty easy. It's a portal, simple, like creating a Facebook page. Very simple to use. Where can you take OnuOne? Better answer, where can't you take it? Thanks to our technology, we're available on iOS, Android devices, so you can use it on your phone, more likely a tablet or a big screen. So if you're going on a sales call, going out on the road, you want to show your products, take it out. In the boardroom, clinching that big sales deal, take it in there, project it on the wall like this. Or on your trade show, you're exhibiting, you want to show your products, take it to your trade show and have your potential customers see what it is, your products as they really exist. We've been to trade shows, we see a lot of people trying to carry these giant items with them. They look like giant popcorn machines or giant atomizers or whatever they are. We've spoken to medical device companies that it costs them $50,000 to make the device. Once they take it out into the field to sell it, they can't use it. So every time they have to go take a new one to demo, it's $50,000. This can save them that kind of money. One sheets to get thrown in the garbage or left in a drawer. This can be more interactive, more compelling. And despite the fact that I know this PowerPoint's really amazing, most PowerPoints aren't. Why does all that matter? It matters because mobile development projects are time consuming, they're costly. To go and make a product like this with a third party IT department or a third party vendor, it can cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars and take you many months to develop. For as little as $99 a month, you can come in and use our platform and break down those barriers of cost and time. Changes for us are real time. You want to switch out a video, switch out a photo, upload it to the portal. It's available for your salespeople on the road immediately. With third-party development companies, that's going to be months or weeks for a change order, thousands of dollars, and you go through the App Store submission process. That's another couple of weeks. So this really breaks down that time and cost. And how do you measure the results? Our analytics engine tracks everything that users are doing in the application. So, where your salespeople are logging in, how much time they're spending in the app, which products they're showing, which products they're not showing, which of your assets they're highlighting, which they're not. So you know if they're following the script you set or not. Thanks to our, we have an upcoming module called our leads module, which allows you to qualify and rank leads. Meaning if you have maybe a CRM system that you keep your leads in, or you buy a leads list, integrate it into our portal, send out an email with a download or a web link. Thanks to the analytics, you'll know when someone opens the email, if they've clicked the link, if they've logged in, which products they've looked at, which they haven't. So when you come to the dashboard, you can look at the leads ranked so that you can tell which people you should be spending time following up with, which ones really aren't there for follow up with. So that's really it. Questions?
Question, go ahead.
Can you speak a little bit more about your team and why you guys are the right people to start this company?
Yeah, I can. My background is in enterprise software development. I probably was creating one of the very first ASP, as it was called back probably before you were in college, now called SaaS, way back about 20 years ago. Sean, my co-founder over there, his team are experts in 3D technology, so taking modeling and bringing it to mobile. With a company called Pixel Group that some of you may have heard of in the area. They do a lot of 3D mobile application development for big brands. So,
thank you.
Yep.
Have you heard of Manuth? Manuth, which is a startup too, but they actually built a proprietary CRM, which is that component that you said that could be used with the other CRM.
Right.
So I didn't catch up where the patent comes into play.
Patent is from the end to end. So from the do-it-yourself aspect of creating a catalog through a portal, all the way through to the display on the mobile application.
Yeah, you should probably connect with Manuth because they can actually use your catalog because they actually do the lead generation with their software.
I'll get you information.
Big part of the patent too is what's most unique about it is essentially that 3D file converter.
So you got your 3R, what format it is?
Well, you can speak to that more, but depending on what it's downloaded, the file format. So there's no, as far as we know, and why we were able to get a patent is because there's no other cloud-based product that will convert that 3D CAD file and optimize it for mobile in real time. So, SaaS and mobile, obviously, you're not getting the patent on those, but the fact that that whole recipe and package together allowed us to file for that patent.
Anyone else?
How many subscribers do you have?
Right now we have a few early adopters. We're coming live June 1st. So right now we're working with a few to get feedback, and then we'll go online and kind of turn on the spigot and allow people to actually sign up online real time.
Yeah, I just a comment. I see the service that you're offering is neat, but I really see the value in that patent. If you guys can get that, that's probably worth a few million, by itself.
I'll take a check if you got one.
Yeah, we're confident that the patent, we have good patent attorneys in town, and they've vetted it pretty well through pretty nice application process.
So you said we can sign up for this started in June? Because I actually need this on Saturday. I have a meeting with an investor, and I actually have 3D images that I would love to use I was just wondering how soon could we actually sign up for? Okay, that works. Thanks.
Yeah.
So what's your model? I mean, do you have a pricing model or?
Yeah, we do. It's $99 a month, $149 a month, or $199 a month, based on per user seat. That depends on how many products you have, and there's the features get better as you go up. But generally, if you have 10 or fewer products, it'd be the $99. If you have 100 or fewer, $149, and then anything above that would be $199 a month. And that's per salesperson or person that's going to use the mobile application.
Any more questions? Once, twice. Thanks, man. Okay, so that kind of concludes. Again, usually we normally go, it's like almost a speed round. We just want everyone to kind of get an idea what everyone is doing. So at this point, we actually kind of go around and see, hey, does anyone have any announcements? There's a lot of activities that's going on in the Southeast Area Mission, especially in Detroit. I can tell you that I believe DNewTech takes place every third Tuesday of the month. And that's a huge event out in the campus of U of M. What other activities do we have going on from an entrepreneurship standpoint?
Tech Week is coming up.
Can you tell us more about the Tech Week?
Tech Week's coming up, I think it's the third week of April. I'm not 100% sure all of what happens there, but it's a big conference happening in Detroit and Ford Field, where there's both an opportunity for entrepreneurs, I think, to have a table and pitch and also get talent. Someone else can fill in the details for me. This will be my first time attending, so.
Okay.
Yes. Sorry, I'll try to make this as quick as possible. But yeah, I was just so I work on a business actually here in Corktown that was started about a year ago. We're a furniture startup, and so we design, manufacture furniture that's simple to ship, simple to assemble. And so we're called Floyd, and we launched last year, and we've shipped to about 30 countries since we started. About 25% of our sales are overseas, so a lot in like Japan and Northern Europe. And right now we're releasing new products and things, and kind of scaling up, redesigning our web platform, and so we're just on the search for front-end developers, UI kind of people. So yeah, if anyone has any suggestions or interested to hear more, happy to talk.
So what's the name of the company?
It's called Floyd.
But you're actually presenting. Are you presenting?
Yeah, the next one. Yeah, but it's thefloydleg.com. If you.
And then what type of programmer? I mean, you said backend. Are you looking at Java-based, C++? What type of programmer are you looking for?
Yeah, I mean, like I think, the big thing that we're looking to do is just like rebuild a web platform, and so it'll probably be just something on an existing platform to begin with. Like, so not a whole lot of like backend kind of requirements. So.
Yeah, those are the type of activities that are going on. I know you said you guys are looking for a web designer, right? So I know there's, especially now with the school coming out, I'm very fortunate with our startup. We actually have a leg in with the U of M Dearborn. So a lot of the interns that come through us. So I mean that's huge activity you can kind of reach out to just because the kids are coming out of school and they're looking for an intern and just the experience itself pays for it. So look out for that, check that out. Any other announcement activities? Andrew Humphrey from WDIV.
Oh, thanks a lot, Tom. Good evening, everyone. My name's Andrew Humphrey. I work at WDIV. I'm a meteorologist and reporter. You see me doing weather on TV a lot of times, but I also report. And when I report on science and technology stories. For example, the latest one I did was on a company called iDashboards. They're located in Troy. They developed a new web app called Hoops. Allows you to visualize the Final Four in an interesting sort of way, maybe help you make your picks. And one of the executives I talked with, he's actually a Michigan State graduate, so he's a proud Spartan, and he's also part of the group. Anyway, if you ever want to check out any of those stories, you can go to clickondetroit.com. I have a Tech Time for Andrew Humphrey section. That's my franchise. Once again, Tech Time with Andrew Humphrey. Speaking of the Pixo group that's here, and Sean and his team did a story on their team as well, where they've developed some apps to help with education and health involving children. In addition to viewing my stories, I also take stories from the audience. That is everyone that's here, basically. If you have any science or technology ideas, feel free to email me. Feel free to call me and contact me. If you ever need my contact information, just remember andrewhumphrey.com. Andrew Humphrey, Humphrey as in Bogart, or Hubert Humphrey, andrewhumphrey.com. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrew. So, anyone else? Go ahead.
Just to piggyback on what you were saying about Tech Week, as part of that, we're bringing, Investor Trade is bringing Power Moves Detroit to the area, and it's a pitch competition that is focused primarily on minority entrepreneurs. So that'll be happening on the Monday and Tuesday, I believe, of Tech Week, yeah.
And that from New Orleans?
Yeah.
Yes.
So this is sort of their Midwest.
Power moves.
Yeah, power moves.
Again, there's a lot of these activities going on, and even if you're not pitching, it's just going out there listening to it. I mean, you not only listening and learning from them, but actually building up a network. That's the biggest thing. Anything else? Announcement?
Mobile Technology of Michigan, I just got an email today on a pretty big event they're doing. I think it's April 23rd at Next Wave in Troy. If you go to MTAM, it's Mobile Technology Association of Michigan is the organization. It just came in before I got here, so I forget the program, but it is a 3-hour kind of event with some speakers and fairly comprehensive. Okay. Oh, yeah, on healthcare. On healthcare, yeah. Mobile Health Symposium.
I want to see the mobility and mobile health. That's the place to be. Anything else? So with that, we will conclude. Again, we'll meet up next Wednesday. Actually next first Wednesday of the month. We're going to be at Bamboo, Detroit, which is a pretty cool place. And then after that, we're going to be at TechStar, and actually TechStar Mobility, which is the TechStar of Detroit. Andrew Humphrey will be our MC at that time. So come out. It's going to be a big shebang that TechStar is going to be sponsoring. So come out. All right? Thank you very much, you guys. Thanks for coming out. Good job. So, how many of
Okay, that was I was making sure. I was wondering.